Welcome to the Development Tank, brought to you by ReadyBuild, the best value in knockdown, rebuild and dual occupancy projects in the market. I'm inside one of our ReadyBuild display homes where quality meets affordability. If you're planning a project anywhere in Australia, talk to me first. Scan the QR code or hit the link to book a free call. We'll beat the competition on price, service and value, guaranteed. If you're going to build, you're crazy not to build with ReadyBuild. Let's get into the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Development Tank. 12 Auburn Parade, Hawthorn East. Pumped to be here, out on site again. Claire's with us. We're in a leafy tree-lined street. Little Fish has managed a renovation right behind us. Weatherboard, cottage, extension out the back. Claire, pumped to be back out on site. I know this one you manage very closely, and I know you enjoy this type of development. Pumped to get into it. Fair to say you enjoyed this one?
One of my favourite, definitely not what we usually do, but this older style home in a heritage overlay, knock off the back and rebuild, definitely one of my favourite types of developing. Very unassuming from the front where we are, and like you said, beautiful tree-lined street, beautiful part of Hawthorn East. Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, 100%. So we've got the tree-lined street. We're in a heritage overlay, which is not somewhere where we like to develop, and nor do they like us developing in those areas. But to do a renovation like this, to have right-of-way access at the back for the car, like you say, have the frontage. You guys who manage the design, once we take you guys through, you're going to understand what got achieved here. And if when you stand out the front, you really can't appreciate what is out the back. So stick around, make sure you head through. But yeah, definitely one that there's some lessons in here, Claire, and plenty of people that are out there renovating. They need to stay tuned.
Absolutely. We'll talk interiors, we'll talk where to spend your money, where not to, but mainly what's really important to make sure you spend enough money in these sort of suburbs.
Yeah, correct, 100%. So we've done this for a good client of ours, bought it, run down, saw the value to put some money into it and flip it. So we'll talk you through that. But what we're seeing at the moment, it is for sale now. We are in a pretty bad market. Everyone, all you legends out there, you're following along, you know how bad a market we're in here in Melbourne. But this is getting people through these type of suburbs. They call them blue chip for a reason, because when there's a downturn, they still stay very strong. So fingers crossed for a great result for our client. But people are coming through. So keen to show you guys what the team did, where they spent money, and maybe some lessons learnt, Claire.
Let's do it.
All right, Claire, keen to unpack this because as we know with renovations, the floor plan is somewhat decided, that front part of the house that you're not ripping off and then extending out the back. So those rooms at the front, they are pre-decided, and we do want to keep some, but then obviously add in and renovate certain areas. So from memory, on the existing plans, we had sort of 4 small bedrooms up the front here in the part we're keeping. Talk me through the thought process and where you guys got to on, I guess, developing those 4 small rooms.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. With these older homes, there's elements you want to keep of them, but then there's also elements of how people used to live 50 years ago versus how we live now. And I guess going back to that 4 smaller bedroom play, one thing that was missing for the buyer, today's buyer, was a genuine master room, which like when we talk about our townhouse developments, we always talk about who buys the house, who's the main buyer and how they're going to live in the house. And we talk about kitchen and the master. Well, this didn't have a genuine master. So that was first point.
Yeah, spot on. And to be able to renovate this in a way that, as we stand here today, buyers come through and see themselves living in it. A 4-bed with no master doesn't play like that. So we'll get to the master. We'll head there next. But whilst we're in a bedroom, talk me through the features that you do look to keep and restore, and then the features that potentially are somewhat new. The carpet feels new to me. Floorboards feel new, but talk me through the things that you've tidied up, things that you've added, and the things you've retained.
Yes, great point. So with these older homes, I love an older home, and what you don't want to lose is their charm and character that they've, that we can't recreate. So things like your doors, for example, yes, we've got new handles, so that touch point, so the mechanisms, things that have been updated and work better, we've upgraded the handle, but we still have the original door. We've got the old style arcs, they're original, arcs and skirts, so the higher skirts, and you'll see, which we'll go to when we get to the modern and the new extension, you'll see where there's a change of these elements that I'm talking about, like the doors, the architraves, the skirts. They have been, there is a clear line between old and new, but we'll get to that. The original fireplace, again, this is about connecting the old with the new. We've brought stone, that is new, that is in the modern part and the extension, but we've kept the original fireplace and just upgraded it.
Yeah, I love that because the original fireplace tidied up, looks fantastic, but the stone, where really your transitions are created and it was a bit manky beforehand, to do that nicely, nice cork around it, really gets your transitions looking really nice. Obviously the old windows is something that is kept in these older homes, but you put shutters here, which just tidies it up, and I think from a functional standpoint really good, but aesthetically it tidies up that window area.
Yeah, you're never going to get an old original timber window frame to be perfect, but it is a really nice way to finish it. And from the outside, the shutters create a really nice visual for an older style home. On that, you mentioned carpet and timber flooring before, which is a good pickup. So the carpet is new. Old homes like this, they don't have, you just couldn't keep carpet. It would be far too old, but you put a modern touch in it. Again, the luxury of what people are used to now is that carpet and that underlay. Yeah. The timber flooring, this is a bit of a mixed one. So in some older homes, you can restore the hardwood flooring that's there. We couldn't in this case, and as I take you through, or we take you through down the back into the new part, we've also got timber flooring there. So to have two types of timber flooring, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's getting that balance between restoring what you can and what makes sense, but then bringing the new elements and these modern comforts that we enjoy, which brand new engineered flooring, brand new loop pile carpet, that still works and still connects the front and the back, because trying to restore too much that's maybe not there to be restored can end up in an average result, which sometimes the old pine floors can end up that way. So to be able to put a brand new floor down, I think the modern buyer is definitely thankful for.
It's going back to that same concept of, we had 4 beds and that's how maybe people used to live, 50, 60 years ago. But the new buyer, the modern buyer, they are expecting their walk-in robe and their ensuite and their master luxury feel.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we've gone to the front part of the house. We've gone from 4 bed to 3 bed, but we've converted one of the beds to walk-in robe and ensuite. So let's go there. Okay, so Claire, we're into the master. Amazing spot, interior design on point, fireplace, even that archway into the walk-in robe, using these new finishes into some old spaces to make sure it's elite, really on point here. And this is a really good feel looking into that walk-in robe and into ensuite.
Yeah, this is the probably perfect section of the house to display exactly that. You've got the old timber window just over there. We've got the older door. We've got the architraves of skirts. We've got the older style window at the front. So you've got a view of these older elements, the tall ceilings that you can't recreate. But then we're bringing elements that modern day buyer wants to touch and feel. So this is an element, this stone from Signorino has come from, it's the main stone in the kitchen.
Looks like just sneaky offcuts.
And straight away, it's a modern touch to an older style, say, skirt down the bottom.
And then ties in, fireplace, ties into the extension out the back. But I think it's pretty respectful to the, the existing.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely. So just so everyone at home understands, from this point back was the old, or the 4th bedroom, or the additional bedroom, and it came through the hallway. So what we've done is we've created the walk-in robe. And again, this transition, you don't need a door on something like this when you've got this beautiful space.
Oh, a door will just make it clumsy and cumbersome. That's a feature that you're happy to look at all the time. Obviously your bathroom's got a door for privacy, but that just becomes part of your bedroom and part of your space. Like you say, you deleted a door, you look like you made a drop zone, mirror, a real feature as you walk in that little indentation there.
I think that's really important to touch on, good point. When you walk into sometimes smaller homes, we always talk about in our townhouse developments, feeling like a big home when you walk in. Sometimes these older cottage style homes, their hallways can be quite small without a drop zone. So we did take a portion of this bedroom and create a very big feature in that entranceway, glass floor to ceiling, stone again, the stone from the kitchen to tie the two together. That gives a space to congregate, but also a feature when you walk in and you know straight away that this home has been, I guess, upgraded.
Yeah, 100%. I was about to go there because up the front here, like you say, we've renoed bed 2, bed 3. We've got the amazing master. When you come to this drop zone area that you've created, it's nearly letting the people know that, hey, you're going to walk into something special here, and it's nearly a sneak peek as to what's to come, which I know we're heading next. But as you walk in, you suddenly go, oh, this house, there's these spaces that are a bit more considered, and it is a sneak peek for what's to come.
Yeah, it's the first point you walk in and you go, this isn't the same house that's in the street. It's not like the rest of them. Something beautiful is coming, which I love that about renovations and extensions, is that they're very underwhelming at the front, but you get to the back and you've gone, someone has created a beautiful space here.
Yeah, correct. The magic is respecting what's gone before you, but creating really lovely spaces. And like I said, just a sneak peek into what's to come. So yeah, I'm sick of waiting. Let's head out there. Okay, Claire, heading to the extension. Talk me through the arch and the transition between old and new.
Definitely my favorite point of the whole design is coming from that old that we've just gone through and talked about and transitioning into this wow moment, because this is the part that you don't notice from the front of the house. But going into that transition, I love how, and I touched on before, but you have the original skirts and there's a clear point at which they stop and we go into that P50 shadow line skirt. The designers have done a really great job, Build Her Collective, of creating that transition. So they've included the stone step down, which says, hey, and the arch, like you mentioned, but hey, I was in the old and welcome to the new.
Okay, Claire, so we step down, high ceilings, skylight, study, bathroom and laundry.
Yeah, a beautiful transition piece from that older style home and bedroom space into that living space. I guess something to point out here, which I touched on before, you've got your skirts, the change. You've gone directly from traditional older style to a modern, which is beautiful. But then also are these doors, they're floor to ceiling, which is very modern, very stunning. And even a shot straight down there is your floor to ceiling glass door into your laundry. And that's automatically, it's going, before we looked at the older style doors and they're lower and they're dropped, but it made sense here. I think what the designer's done here really well is create the impact to everyone feel like they're in the modern space.
100%, everything's modern. You've got the aluminium windows and doors. Everything is what the modern buyer is chasing, obviously with the charm up the front.
And I think it's worth noting with this modern study that we've got here, this is a perfect example of, in this particular design, this suburb, this blue chip suburb that we talk about, it was very, very necessary to finish it. So often we'll do a study space and we'll leave it to the end buyer and the end user to decide. But in a house like this, chasing high resales, someone needs to walk in and not have to do anything. And this is the perfect example where we didn't skimp out, we've completely fitted it out.
Yeah, spot on, really important. All right, now let's get into the kitchen. So Claire, here we are. Like if you can't get excited about this, full floor to ceiling windows, vaulted ceilings, full joinery, amazing stone, amazing natural light. This is the showstopper.
This is definitely not what you see from the front, is it?
Yeah.
The design, and obviously the heritage overlay, there's restrictions about what you can see from the front, but I think that's lovely. Like we've done the step down and you just are not expecting to walk into this.
Yeah, I love that unassuming nature of a dwelling that leads you through and takes you on a bit of a journey, but then takes you to the exclamation mark, which is where we are now. Do you want to talk me through the thought process, the layout, kitchen, living, meals? Looks to the spaces all look to be fantastic, which we'll get to the al fresco. Natural light aplenty on a tight block. I think really well executed.
Yeah, agree with you there. Really well executed. I think what's lovely about this, it's very open plan living, but designated areas. So you have, your living behind there. We've got a little bar and built-in joinery. The dining room, even though it's next to the kitchen, it has its own space, which I really love. Favorite part of the whole kitchen is an island. I love an island with no sink in it. And this is an entertainer's delight. There is no doubt about it. I think while we're here, this stone, it's beautiful, but given the house isn't huge, I think what's lovely is that the materiality, and I don't know if you've picked up people watching at home, but the palette is quite the same throughout. So we haven't gone and selected 5 different stones. This stone is the one that ties the older style home to the new style, and it's the same throughout. And it's similar with the joinery colours and the handle colours. So it definitely hasn't been overdone. And I think it's about, again, you can probably play it up and mix it up a bit when your whole house is new, but having those two talk to each other is really important.
Yeah, I think 100%, really important. I think you need to get that right. You need to get that balance of what you do bring in and what you don't bring in. But yeah, keeping that story, keeping some connection there, super important. I think the spaces are really well put together and well crafted. And as you can see out there, double garage and studio, which I know we'll get to, but a really good aspect looking out onto your entertaining areas there.
And you'll see that garage out, which we're going to walk to, is original. So that pitch is original. And I think the architect has done a great job of carrying that pitch through in a modern way, which talks to both elements.
Okay, Claire, some great features out here. Talk to me from an investment point of view. We are chasing, some real numbers. Our client's chasing some real numbers here in Hawthorn East. Is a different buyer, it's a different product. What are some of the differences that you might put into a renovation versus more of a brand new townhouse development? So what are the little bespoke items where you're trying to get that buyer to fall in love and feel like there's been, I guess, more consideration here?
I think that's a really good question. I think with these, design principles, they all stay the same. So things, how people use a space, how they want to use the space, they're always the same. But with, say, this project in particular, it was a project that was always going to get to the end. It was never going to be an off the plan sell, because we're really relying on drawing that emotion in when a purchase comes through. So as an example, the size, just the sheer size of this island and the amount of stone is, I think you walk into here and that is straight away, you've elevated this space and there's a sense of luxury. So on top of that, small details, but fluted glass in your cabinetry. A little design element, and costly, but it's not gonna break the bank, but it elevates it and then talks to that hero stone. Then we've got a pot filler. Have you ever seen one of these?
Nope.
Something we probably wouldn't, or we definitely wouldn't put in a standard townhouse, I guess. But in saying that, depending in your market, maybe Doncaster, potentially we would. But definitely expected in this sort of level of home. And then probably lastly is just the sheer height and size that the ceiling has created. So putting the money into the glass follows the entire ceiling line. We've got extra glass up on the other side to bring light in both sides, and then that vaulted ceiling.
Something that jumps out to me and would be a real, I guess, attraction for myself is the glass and the natural light. Every opportunity has been taken to get natural light into this dwelling, I feel like. So a really good aspect to it and a real showstopper. And like we said, it's the real exclamation mark on this renovation.
And there's no denying that this section, I guess the form and the structure cost money, but it's warranted again in this suburb and this street.
This is what's going to get your return. Let's head outside to the alfresco. Okay, Claire, we're outside. Genuine indoor-outdoor fields, finished with beautiful stone, cabinetry, built-in barbecue. I think a genuine entertainer out here.
This is an entertainer's delight. And I think what's lovely about it is you're, like you said, completely covered. So it's very unlikely that, you're getting rain. It's even the canopy even goes further. So it's very unlikely there's any sort of weather damage here on a bad day. It is that indoor-outdoor, and I think something I want to touch on interior-wise is the flooring is the same tundra stone tiles or pavers that are used for the step down and in the wet rooms. So again, it's just minimising the amount of materials you use in a smaller house.
A great space, great size backyard. There's our double garage and studio / bedroom 4 above. Excited to get into that. Let's go have a look. Okay, Claire, we're out in the rear studio, double garage, the parking. Definitely, it takes me back because obviously I'm not out on site as often as you guys, but it takes me back to when we took on this job for our client, how excited we were to spend money, and we might have even convinced the client to spend a bit more money to really convert this space into the asset that it is, which it's really a single bedroom self-contained unit out the back. Talk me through it, because it was a disaster when I come out and saw it when we took this job on. But all the elements that I'm seeing here, everything's finished, flooring, kitchen stairs. It's a real asset that we did think it was back when we took on the job.
Yeah, you're right. I remember when we came out here, we were going, there's something here, but we need to do a lot for it to be something and for it to talk to what we've just been through. So you mentioned earlier, we've got the laneway out the back. So this is double garage access. What was here before, very underwhelming old, this is original. So with the original house, very underwhelming garage. We had a pull down stair. I think a pull down from memory. It was rickety, like I wasn't confident going up it.
Yep.
We had sort of just a bundle of storage area.
Yes.
Very run down, and a toilet, not a toilet shower, a toilet that I wouldn't have gone in.
Yeah, yeah.
Very unloved area. But what we have now, completely finished, like you said, I would say a self-contained little unit.
100%. And I think that's what we appreciated with an area like this, a blue chip suburb. I think the block is circa 420, 440 block. So not massive, but everything you can bring and create as an asset, you're going to be repaid for. And that's essentially what they've done here. They had the double garage, had the loft, but none of it was that attractive. Right now, Claire, doors are open. You've got doors open to the house, doors open to here. If you don't park your cars in here, suddenly you've got a massive area for entertaining the whole lot, and it's finished off within an inch of its life, so it's something you can be proud of. Toilet shower combo, good storage, and an amazing kitchenette unit. This can double for a teenager out here. They could be an Airbnb-er. You could have another family out here. In all honesty, you could have multiple people upstairs, which we'll head there next, but they've got shower, they've got toilet, they've got kitchen. This house can deal with 2 families. So very flexible and makes this asset, I think, worth a lot more. So was definitely worth the investment.
Yes, you're right. First thing that came to my mind was a working from home studio where you can bring people in. You've got this beautiful glass sliding door, which matches the new extension. Previously was just a hinge door and closed up. Add shears to that, and this is a studio.
Yeah, 100%. This is a studio, like I said, single bed, big single bed home, parking, the whole lot, and really finished really well. A point I want to make is that obviously in recent weeks we've been to Baran, Oakley Road, these types of places. The effort that's been put into the finishing of the floor, I think it's a big one, and it often can get missed. And the concrete, the slab that comes with the property, just doesn't elevate it.
This is brand new.
This is done, really well, and really elevates it and finishes it off. So just wanted to make that point. Let's head upstairs and see how user-friendly upstairs is.
Let's do it. We should note while we're going up, the stairs.
They look a bit more approachable than the last set of stairs we had.
Absolutely. These were really affordable too. I think total package was 10,000. So to change from a pull down ladder and actually have potential purchasers come on inspection to be able to easily walk up, I think it was a no-brainer.
All right, Claire, we've shot up the stairs in our studio. Again, I'm not out here all the time, so I forget, but natural light, plenty of room, queen size bed already there. This space could be anything.
To think that this was a maybe, like you said, sort of convinced the investor. We didn't actually do a lot of work up here. Yes, we did fresh carpet, coat of paint, closed up a couple of things, knocked out a couple of things, but minimal work compared to the rest of the house. Minimal work up here. Biggest thing was the stairs, the kitchenette, and the facelift to the bathroom, but minimal. But the outcome is just, I want to live in this studio.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we're in Hawthorn East. What's blowing my mind, and it's what, to our credit, that's what we identified right at the start, was that this was the opportunity. This was the point of difference in Hawthorn East. But to have 2-car garage, toilet, shower, storage, kitchen up here, heaps more storage, could sleep 10, heating, cooling, totally separated from the house, your own access from the right of way, you don't need to go through the house. For me, this is the showstopper. This is gonna get someone across the line. It's like, what's a great single bedroom unit worth in Hawthorn East? Well, you've got one on the back of your block.
Yeah. You've got it with the front. And I think that's the main thing, because you spoke about how we dropped 4-bed to 3. We put a genuine master in and 2 good sized bedrooms. This is better than a 4th bedroom. This is a studio.
100%. So you still get to tick the 4-bedroom model, which is a nice threshold we try and get to. But like you said, so much more going on. This is a 1-bedroom townhouse.
This was an element that we discussed thoroughly. Obviously, to upgrade the entire garage, it was either yes or no, do we leave it as a garage? It obviously was a lot of money to outlay. But this is one of those points where we couldn't not put the money in. It was more of a risk not to put the money in than it was to put the money in to do this garage into a studio.
Yeah, great. And I think that's an awesome point, Claire, and I reckon you mentioned it before we kicked off. A project like this, there can nearly be more risk in the return on investment by pulling back on your investment and dodging this and dodging that, and essentially delivering an 80% product and not letting the buyer see and envisage. Because I feel like when we're here at the start, it wasn't a full no-brainer to do this, but now we've done it and now we've created the space and we've been able to show the buyer what they can get. It's just a full no-brainer. So super important to dig a bit deeper and spend the money in the right areas, but make sure you are finishing the product to deliver a finished product to market rather than something that's got something left over.
I think in one of our very first dev tanks, we spoke about that, the purchaser or the mortgage holder willing to put in an extra 200,000 onto their mortgage rather than trying to outsource and get trades to finish for, say, $80,000. It is more of a hassle. They would rather have a bigger mortgage and have it completely done and not have to deal with trades.
Awesome. Love the studio. Probably my favorite bit, and probably a bit that we did definitely drive that at the start with our client, that this was the opportunity in this investment. So well done. Let's head back to the kitchen. All right, Claire, well, that's it. Thanks for walking through with us. An amazing job by yourself and the team a great product. What are your thoughts on the Reno, Claire?
They're definitely a little bit trickier in general, just the detail, the unknowns more so, but it definitely has a place in my heart. I love a knock off the back and extend modern. I love that integration with the old into the new. I hope we see more of these.
100%, no doubt we will. I think there's a lot of renovation opportunities out there, but even for ourselves, I know myself, the rest of the team, we're all property enthusiasts at heart. Property in a general sense, not just property development. So as we fill out and as we get bigger and we get more momentum, there's no doubt there's going to be more of these types of projects. So thanks for joining us, Claire. Thanks for taking us through. We'll see you next time, whether it's out or site or in the office.
Yeah, thanks. That was great.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Another renovation down, another project down. Happy developing.